Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are testing Halberd Militia in how good is testing, and basically as it has spear wall formation we are using it in the same manner as other pike units. So let's see how it will fare against Horde. So the unit has stats with nothing to write home about. I guess we need to order this unit to attack here. So at least the initial engagement is going rather well. But let's see. As you can see, the lack of armor is showing here already. But the enemy is starting to take quite heavy casualties. And it seems okay. So first unit is breaking, and actually it has not suffered that many casualties. So if other units begin to break as well, we might be in rather strong position in this battle. And I think you guys could charge as well instead of facing the wrong way. Okay. So much for that. And it seems the town militia is beginning to bridge the gap in casualties. So let's see how we will fare. These guys are fighting quite long, it seems. These guys as well, rather impressive. They have lost 2/3 of the units and still not breaking. And there is this one smart guy over here wreaking havoc behind the lines.
The enemy has lost half his army.
Okay. And they are breaking. The general enemy captain still has to join the fray. Oh, that's units going to fight to the bitter end, it seems. Okay, so it seems the enemy captain is joining the fray now, and let's hope we can get our lines organized. Well, apparently not quite.
My lord, only half our force remains.
I think those will rally still. This might be a bit risky, but if we can rout the enemy captain... Okay.
Thanks the Lord.
Good.
Our men has slain the enemy general.
So if I engage these units, probably those will charge our back, and that's bad news. Okay, and it seems we have a victory.
Its obvious superiority through victory.
So, clear victory. I don't think so. We should have 300 men remaining it to be clear victory, so average victory, but I think that's rather nice for this type of militia unit. Okay, so I think this is going to be a rough one. For some reason, in my experience, these units will perform better against elite opponents if there are 4 of them on top of each other. compared to the formation I used in the last battle. Whereas in the last against Horde, you need to have a bit wider formation. I don't know if it's about unit numbers or something else, but that seems to be the case. Then again, it seems at the moment that the case is that our Halberd Militias are getting wrecked.
We must change tactics.
Yeah. So we are beginning to inflict some casualties, but the ones we are suffering are rather horrible. But I guess it's not going to be a crushing defeat, at the very least. And once again, it would be nice if you guys could face the proper direction. That might help in the battle, actually. And I guess some of you guys are fighting. So at least, yeah, not crushing defeat, perhaps clear defeat. Though perhaps we are starting to bridge the gap a bit. Okay, those guys are pulling back. Not good news for their friends.
Lost half the army.
And it seems the gap is beginning to widen once again. So our good captain is over here and doesn't look too good for him. Doesn't have too good prospects for long life. I mean, you guys could of course help him.
General has thrown his life away. Perhaps our chances of victory with it.
And I think they will break rather soon. First one, second one, third, and that's the army going. I guess it's clear defeat. Though I think we did inflict actually rather nice damage over there. So here it would be clear defeat. Yeah, I don't think that we inflicted quite many casualties enough for average defeat. So, well, quite impressive clear defeat, let's call it that. Okay, so second attempt against Cavalry. In the first attempt I had two units next to each other, so the formation was wider but perhaps not as strong. And the Cavalry was able to smash quite easily through it. And here let's see how we will fare. So they are not using any fancy tactics, so that bodes well for the units, but as you can see they are taking quite heavy beating from the initial charge. So basically the results in the first attempt was average defeat. The enemy had something like 150 men remaining, So let's see if this approach will perform better. Or rather this formation. For the moment we are leading, but then again we do have some enemy units at our rear, which I guess is not ideal. So that charge is going to be problematic. It's going to hit the flank. Or perhaps not quite. Well, at least somewhat, yeah. Actually, this is going surprisingly well. We are still leading. And some of the enemy units that have suffered more casualties might actually break at some point. Of course, it would help if you guys just face the proper direction.
Only half the enemy force remains. Lord, we have lost half the army. Dubkov's general has thrown his life away.
And that might be the beginning of the end.
To reverse our fortunes.
Yeah.
Today's defeat was
Okay, so in this one the units broke quite a bit earlier than in the last one. Then again, we didn't lose the general in the last one, so a bit of RNG. But the results are pretty much the same. So, I don't know. Perhaps I would recommend using this formation, 4 units on top of each other instead of only 2. Because if the general had not died, I think we could have actually achieved close victory, or rather close defeat, or even victory. So this is going to be average defeat because the enemy has more than 100 men remaining. So this is going to be a tricky one, actually a second attempt already. Our general kind of died quite early in the first attempt, of course shows to some degree the unreliability of this unit. We actually managed to break one of these units, but let's see if we could improve the performance a bit. Of course, one cannot value or evaluate a unit based on good RNG alone, so if this battle fails, then we have to concede that this unit just isn't against missile units. Which is quite reasonable, they don't have any defense against missiles. And I think it's somewhat telling that the crossbows are not running away from them. And no wonder the general died, because, well...
This battle goes poorly for the Reich.
Yeah.
We need to reverse our fortunes. My lord, we have lost half the army.
And they have lost 1/5. Yeah. Not looking too good. As the missile units are actually doing rather well in melee. Okay, the general is over there. And they are not firing missiles in real life. Or perhaps in real game. And our general is over here wreaking some havoc. Haha, okay, yeah. So that's rather sad, and these guys will break rather soon as well, probably. And those guys are getting shot in the back. Yep, and this is the final unit still doing battle. Or trying to look like that they are doing battle.
This loss saddens the heart of all the folk who call the Reich home.
That's it. I guess clear defeat. Yeah, clear defeat. If the enemy had less than 300 men remaining, it would have been average defeat, but as this was attempt 2, and actually it seems this was the better attempt, it's just to give the unit clear defeat here. 2 points. So, this is the second attempt. And I guess it's time to get going. This is a bit tricky because, well, the enemy does have that range superiority. And then again, if we move too close without proper formation, they will just wreck us where we stand. And I'm a bit afraid that our general is going to fall rather soon.
We are being defeated. We must change tactics.
Yeah, that seems rather plain. Unfortunately, I don't have quite a lot of different tactics over here to utilize. So this is pretty much what happened in the first battle. The general fell rather soon, and the cavalry was beating the units quite badly. And since this seems to be a pattern, I don't think that we will give this battle a third attempt. So I think overall Halberd Militia has gotten quite a bit more chances than other units being tested. So yeah, that kind of proves the point that the unit seems to be somewhat unreliable.
My lord, we have lost half the army.
So the whole army is shaken. We have taken down some of the knights. That's at least something. And town militias are taking quite a beating as well. But I guess now that the enemy dismounted feudal knights are about to join the battle, that will kind of decide. Okay, so cavalry running through the unit actually broke it. And these guys are wavering as well, so yeah, that's about it.
This loss saddens the heart of all the folk who call the Reich home.
Yeah, I think it was actually... It's so close. But I think, as we didn't take down any of the elite units, most of the enemy casualties are from the Horde units. That's going to be clear defeat. Because the numbers would be really close about average defeat, but I think, yeah, that's clear defeat. So, overall, the unit got 15 out of 40 points in battle. That's, in my opinion, quite bad. Regarding the production values, the unit costs 300 florins, which means 3 out of 4 points. The upkeep is 150, plus the unit gets free upkeep, so that's barely 4 out of 4 points, which is really nice. About the availability, The maximum amount is 6 from the barracks building, so that's 3 out of 4 points. You can get more of these from Master Mason's Guild or Mason's Guild headquarters, but since those are quite rare, I'm not going to award them extra points from that. So it's based on that 6. Furthermore, the requirements are barracks tier 4, namely Militia Drill Square, and that requires tier 4 cities, so that's 2 out of 6 points. And once again, the Master Mason's Guild is not affecting these things over here. So overall, from production values, the unit gets 12 out of 18 points, which is rather nice, and the total score is 27 out of 58. Which is nothing to write home about. So basically, the unit is in bottom 10 units at this moment, on par pretty much with Town Militia, Billmen, Levy Spearmen, Bill Militia, etc., etc. So basically, it seems that this unit kind of falls in between. If you get Pike Militia, they will perform in battle quite a bit better, even though they are a bit more difficult to get. And furthermore, if you get an earlier unit, Crossbow Militia, they will both perform better in the battle and they will be easier to get. So basically, this unit is rather obsolete. But feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree? And thank you very much for watching the video. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. You get access to some perks, have more to say, what units to test and which campaigns to play. And very special thanks to existing channel members Napoleon Complex, Kosakusar, Mark Anthony. Your support is greatly treasured. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.